Okay. I think we're up.
Okay, great. Okay, it's got it. And shall I start recording now? I'll just pause it.
Give it 1 or 2 seconds because sometimes this has a bit of an echo. No,
Okay.
it's fine. It's fine. You're good to go.
Okay, so I'll start recording.
Yeah.
Everybody's joining now.
Hello, everyone who's joining.
Hey, hi everyone.
Hi.
Press the egg in the stars.
Oh, got singing. Goodness.
Hi, everyone. We're going to be kicking off in about 2 minutes' time whilst we give people a bit of a chance to join. And you're all in for a fantastic treat today because you're going to hear all about the CBF Academy and the fantastic work that we've been doing, but also how you can have a great time with the application process and how you can get onto our programs as well. Feel free to ask as many questions as you like because we want to make it as useful and as informative as possible as well. Before we do get started, whilst we've got people dripping into the room, has anybody applied for a program with Coding Black Females with any of our boot camps, any of our programs that we do? Has anybody applied before? Awesome, Gloria has.
Wow.
Lovely. So hopefully this will be useful for you. And for the rest of you, if you've not joined, if you've not applied to anything in the past, we'll tell you what we have open, how you can apply, how you can be successful, some of the lovely, fantastic stories from the community as well, which hopefully should encourage you to want to be on our programs. And we are more than happy to answer anything for you. So ask away, get your questions out when you're ready, and we're happy to get involved. And do that in the chat as well if you'd like to. So we will be getting started in a couple of minutes.
Oh, some great comments.
Oh, we've got our Aqua here as well.
Yeah,
Woo!
hi Aqua.
Hi.
Hello.
You're all in very, very good company right now, I will say.
Yeah, lots of people wanting to apply, not yet.
Well, we are going to.
Will you have anything for cyber? That's a question. Hi, will you have anything for cyber? Maybe, do you mean cyber security, Shola? What do you mean cyber? Oh, do you mean cyber security? Yeah.
I did see that question come in, actually. I think it came in on our Instagram account a few days ago. And the answer is one day, maybe. At the moment, we don't. We did run a cybersecurity course last year, which was fantastic. It was oversubscribed. It was amazing. So we definitely want to do that sort of thing again. At the moment, we don't have anything cybersecurity related open. However, I would say that, and I'm not pretending this is cybersecurity because it isn't. But if you were involved in our AWS courses, what you will learn is a bit about AWS security on those sorts of courses. Sometimes if you're entry level, it can be a really good idea to do a course like that, learn about AWS, learn about security there, get the job, and then have the chance to transition once you're in a company. Some of our partners are cybersecurity related, and they can give you really good opportunities as well. If you give me all 1 minute, I'm going to let the world know that we're about to start, and then we can kick off. And you can hear from me for a little while, talking all about our courses and what we do. whilst we are waiting, Efwa, Mariam, do you want to give a little intro to yourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mariam, and I'm the Student Engagement Officer for Coding Black Females. So I work with students on our boot camps. And Efwa?
Hi, I'm Efwa. I'm co-CTO here at Coding Black Females. And so I work on a lot of the CBF Academy programs, helping with the curriculum and assessments. I'd also like to add, just quickly, the question about cybersecurity, just to add to your point, Charlene, about the AWS course. One of the courses in particular for AWS certification that we have has quite a hefty module on networking. And I think that's one of the basis of learning about cybersecurity. So it's very helpful to get your head around and understand that. And it could be a nice introduction to it too. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Excellent. Okay, so we are going to get started, and it's absolutely fantastic to be able to speak to people again. I feel like I've not spoken to anybody in the community for a very long time, but if you've not met me before, I'm Charlene Hunter, and I'm the founder and CEO at Coding Black Females. I have the privilege of doing my favourite thing in the world, and that's working with a fantastic community of Black women in tech and who want to be in tech as well. And we really want to tell you about the programs we have open because they're fantastic opportunities, I'll be honest, and we want to make sure you know about them and how you can really benefit. And also, if there's other things that you're really interested in that we can either signpost you towards or make sure that we create for the future as well. But if you've not done much with Coding Black Females in the past or seen much from Coding Black Females in the past, we are the largest network of Black female developers in the UK. And one day that will also be global. And what we're aiming to do is enable Black women to develop and grow and really enhance their own careers. So we want to see more Black women entering the industry, but also Black women progressing and getting promotions and moving up to those senior positions, into those leadership positions as well, because it's so really important that we also have Black women of influence out there as well, making a huge difference within the tech industry. Our mission, so we have 3 words that we bring everything back to when we're planning anything, when we're doing any of our work at Coding Black Females, and that is build, learn, support. Every time we do something, we're like, are we building something here? Are we supporting people? Are we enabling people to learn? So we're really focused on saying that we can build the community and enable people to build technology too. We want people to learn together, learn in a way that they feel supported, and also, you know, gain new skills, gain new experiences. It might not be that you're learning on a boot camp. You could be at an event like this one today. You could be learning in such a variety of ways. And we always bring everything back. And we use this a lot when we're talking to our new partners. Are you enabling our community to grow? Are you enabling the community to build new technology and to gain new experiences and be supported? We have a strong focus on support as well, which is really to make sure that when people are gaining that skill, those new skills and that new information, that they're able to be supported. So we try to provide mentoring and coaching where we can on our boot camps as well. We actually had somebody else reaching out to a bunch of the students recently, and it was actually quite nice for her to say, you know, some bits are really hard, like some bits are really difficult. However, the support that we get at CBF is phenomenal. It's phenomenal support because it's actually that beneficial for her to have that. And I know that I've seen that across the board with people doing different types of courses. So what we aim to do is make sure that we can provide that support whilst you're all learning with us too. I want to put a bit of highlight back on this as well. So the idea that we really want to change the narrative within the tech industry. We did some work with the British Computer Society last year, where we had some amazing volunteers, a working group set up within the community who worked tirelessly for about a year to put a report together with the industry professional body for technology for IT in the UK to really investigate and find out about the representation and the experiences of Black women in the tech industry. And within that, we found that, and it's a number that we've seen over and over and over again, but a number that we want to see change, that Black women only make up 0.7% of the tech industry. And if anybody's in tech and you're like, oh, I don't really see many Black women in tech, it's because there's only 0.7% of us within the whole industry. So Coded Black Females makes us feel like there's loads of us everywhere. But actually, we've got a lot of work to do to see that number change. And it's not just us, it's also the partners. And every partner that we work with is bought into seeing this number change, to making sure the representation within the community, within the industry is correct as well. And we're excited that we're part of that change and we're seeing that change. So when you join a program at CBF, and I'm not saying that you're joining it to change the world, but you're part of changing the world as well. You're not just learning, you're changing what the industry looks like. And, you know, that's super important to us. And that's what keeps us driven, keeps us going on the days where we find it really tough as well. So we really want to see all of that change. A bit about what we do. So we do quite a lot, actually. We have quite a strong focus on training now. We do quite a lot to enable people to train, upskill, get into the industry, progress through it, you know, start out in those senior positions as well. So we do quite a lot of training. We also run mentor programs. And on our mentor programs, they are 12-week programs a lot of the time, where people can be paired one-to-one with somebody either from the community or from a company who will enable them to gain skills over a 12-week period. And they're really beneficial because you create new contacts with these awesome companies. You also get to just excel and advance in your skills in any area that you choose to. So you could join a mentor program and say, I want to, I don't know, I want to work on my career progression. I'm being really random now. I want to work on my career progression, or I want to work on learning this particular bit of Java. Let me find a mentor who knows that, so that I can really develop that skill over a 12-week period. And you have someone that's dedicated to you for 12 weeks to help you do that. So they're amazing. We also do loads of events. So today we've got events, but we have in-person events as well, where we see people getting together to code and chill, or to learn new technologies, or do workshops and so on. So we do have a lot of events that we run as well, alongside the fact that we do a bit of recruitment and we have our job board as well. So through the boot camps, we do recruitment. Through our job boards, you can also go there and find out about the roles that are currently open, again, with companies that are really keen on seeing things change in the industry. So to go back to a bit about our boot camps and the boot camps that we run, we've got 3 key boot camps that we focus on at the moment. There's one that I've missed off here, actually, that I forgot to put on here. Black Coder as well is another one of our fantastic boot camps. So we have Black Coder that runs, it's our full stack development boot camp, which kind of fits within our entry to tech area. So with our entry to tech, that's our software engineering boot camp, and that's entry level. We have Return to Tech, which is our experienced software engineering boot camp, and then AWS Restart as well, which is cloud engineering. I highly recommend that if you want to know more about the details about what we cover in all of these courses, that you head over to the website, where you can find loads of information. I'll drop all the links in the chat later on. But on the website, what you'll find is there's information about the actual course outline, what we cover, how you can get involved, how you can apply, the processes involved, and also the partners that we're actually working with on the specific programs that we run too. So definitely want to go and check out. But on our boot camps, we've actually trained around 1,500 Black women so far. I will say some of those are people that have been through our boot camps, some have done online courses, some have chosen some of the short courses, but we've done quite a lot of training over the last few years. And it's been exciting to see people getting trained through us and then going on to fantastic new opportunities, whether that's another boot camp or a new role or a new job, or, you know, going to university. There's so much that you can do with the training that we do here. And we also have, you know, I keep on mentioning these partners, but we've got some fantastic partners involved who say, let's figure out what the roles could look like at the end. So we work together on formulating roles that would be suitable for the programs that we run, and also making sure that there's a support network internally once you've been trained through our programs. So you'll never get just dropped in and thrown in the deep end. We make sure there's support available once you're there as well. And we have a lot of conversations with our partners just to make sure that they're the right companies for the community, and that there is actually alignment with what we have as our values, but also, you know, what theirs are as well. So we want to make sure there's that real connection. So they're just some of our partners. We do have quite a few. I'll say at the moment with UBS and BAE Systems, they're the two where we have roles available with the programs that we're running that are coming up as well at the moment. So definitely two to look at, maybe do a bit of research into as to whether you're interested in that sort of company, because you could train and potentially get paid whilst you train and then land a job on a pretty good salary as well once you've completed the training. So definitely have a look at the companies that we're working with, which you can find out about either on the website or literally just Google them and you can find out so much more as well. So I want to tell you a bit about the programs that we have currently running. Sometimes we forget about how many people we're training at a time, but this isn't even all of our courses. So we also have Black Coder that's running at the moment. There's about 25 people training on Black Coder. We've got 16 people on Return to Tech. We've got 50 people on AWS Restart, all learning right now how to either get into the industry, or for our returners, they're looking at those senior level positions. So they're working through certifications, they're working through slightly more advanced information to really find out how to get on. And I added some pictures because whilst we do all of our training virtually, we're kicking off all of our training programs in person now, so that you'll get a chance to meet the other people that you're going to be learning with, connect with them before you then move on to train for what could be 18 intense weeks, it could be 30 intense weeks. However many weeks is intense, you're going to want to get on with them to some extent. So we give you a chance to meet up at the beginning and at the end of the program as well. So we do have some programs open for application at the moment. So we've got 3 boot camps that you could apply for currently. So there's our Entry to Tech boot camp, and that is for entry-level people. So if you want to enter the industry, if you've got minimal experience, and I say minimal because with something like Entry to Tech, what we do want you to have done before is maybe an online course, or maybe you've done a course with another similar organization or so on, like a short course, just to get your foot in a little bit to really just understand whether you actually enjoy learning. We don't tend to put people on boot camps unless you've done something in the past, or you can show that you're going to have that real dedication throughout the boot camp. So with that, with all the boot camps, the process application form, we'll send out a technical assessment. We'll then ask you to record a screening video, which we'll review, and we'll look at all of that together to then determine whether you go on to which program you go on to, but also whether you're accepted at all. So then we have our Entry to Tech, which is our part-time, it's 30 weeks, 28 weeks long, and that'll be kicking off in June. We also have 2 cohorts of Return to Tech open as well at the moment for application. One of them will be a full-time 18-week bootcamp, and you'll be paid 30k whilst you're training. Not that you'll be paid a 30k salary, you won't be paid 30k, a salary of 30k spread over that time whilst you're training. So that's really to give you that support to quit up front, so that you can really focus on actually learning over that 18-week period full time. Then we also have our Return to Tech bootcamp, again the part-time version this time. And there's the possibility of also gaining a 6k salary whilst you're training on that. So that's a 30-week boot camp again, and you'll receive a bursary whilst you're on that program. You'll receive the full 6k for that one. And whilst you're training, you'll have that support there too, again with a role lined up for you at the end as well. So we're really trying to make sure that we can connect you with people. We can remove as many barriers as we can by giving you that financial support whilst you're learning. Again, if you need additional support, you know, sometimes we give out childcare where we can. We'll also support you with a laptop if you need it, and so on. So we do as much as we can to make it possible to do the courses that we provide, to give you as much opportunity to get involved and, you know, just have as much fun whilst you're learning as well. Some of the eligibility, so a lot of it's quite similar, but Entry to Tech, you don't need any experience for that really, except for the fact that maybe you should have done an online course. So, and it's not so that we can say we don't want you to do it. It's more so that you can say, actually, I do enjoy learning technology. So we wanted to see that you've had a go at something before, that this isn't the first time you've heard about tech. So if you've not, if you want to apply for this, what I would recommend is, even if you're thinking about it now, you've never done anything before, do a Code Academy course, do something online, and then come back and apply and let us see that you've completed that, because that will then really give us that confidence that you're actually wanting to do it for the right reasons. For all of these courses, you'll need to be able to work in London on completion, because these are funded, they're sponsored boot camps with roles at the end as well. So we'll need you to be able to work in London with our partners on completion. For our 2 Return to Tech boot camps, for both of those, you'll need to have some industry experience. So with that, it could be that typically we say around 3 years experience, but really it's about the fact that you're able to work independently in your role as a software engineer or something similar to that. So we're looking for people there who have that tech background, that want to enhance that. And then we'll support you to gain certifications, you'll gain mentors with those organizations. And then on completion, there's a role there for you that you essentially get a conditional offer at the beginning of the boot camp, so that at the end, you then have that job to go on to as well. And for all of these, they're slightly different lengths, but essentially the other, really important part of the eligibility is that you're able to either study full-time or part-time, but that you can also dedicate that time to doing homework, doing the additional study that you may need to do as well. So there is quite a lot there that you'll have to look at, and I'll send you all the links, but there's a few links that you'll want to go to find out more. If you go to codingblackfemales.com/memberzone now, though, what you'll be able to do is see the different courses that we have open, that we have available, that you could go and apply for to get involved with, and you'll see all the information there that you need. And if you have any questions, actually, whilst you're applying, on the website, there's a little chat bot in the bottom right corner that you can use, and you can send us a message, and we essentially just sit there hoping that somebody asks us a question all day, and then we'll answer it straight away. So if you have any questions at all, do feel free to head over to the website, ask it in the chat, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, slightly quicker than sending us an email, and we can then help you with your application as you're doing it if you need that as well. With the application process, so I mentioned that we have an application form, we then do a technical assessment, and then we move on to you doing a screening video. And at that point, we kind of take all of that data in and we do a review of everything you've sent us. But so that you can be successful, what we want you to do is, during the application form, when you're looking at that, please be really, really clear about your experience and learning and so on, really, because we want to use that to know, okay, they've done tech before, they've learned before a little bit, and now we can see that, okay, putting them through an intense program would actually work. Someone just asked if you're self-taught. Absolutely. If you're self-taught, that's perfect as well. So if you've done any self-learning, you'll send us your GitHub account so that we can have a look at that. We'll take a look and see what you've done in the past. If you've just done courses, just let us know the course you've done. If you've completed a JavaScript course on Code Academy or something on Free Code Camp, that's a really good way to just let us know, okay, I'm really dedicated to this. I really want to get involved. Mainly because we get so many applications, because obviously there's no cost to the boot camps. So we want to make sure that the people that are coming through have done something before, and we're giving you the best opportunity as well once you're on the boot camp. We also would like if you could just explain how you're going to carve out the time for the course as well. The courses are all intense. So you'll need to be able to find the time to dedicate to putting the time in as well. So during the application process, if you've carved out time for a course before, let us know how you'll do it again, and we will happily support you with that as well. And then we tend to ask as well why you would like to work with our partners that we're working with. And that's just really just to see that you've had a look at the partner, you understand that this bootcamp opportunity is lined up with a job at the end as well, and that you are interested in working there. So if you could also let us know why you would like to work there, and then we can use all of that, like I say. Typically, we also say, if you could make your application be longer than a tweet, that would be great as well, because it gives us enough context there to then find out a bit about you and know how you line up for the programme. The next thing that you'll go on to do is the technical assessment. And please, please, please always attempt the technical assessment. Sometimes getting nothing or a 0 score is better than not trying, because we can't progress if you don't log in, if you don't try. So definitely go in and attempt the technical assessment. We actually provide quite a lot of resources when you sign up for a course or when you try. We'll give you a bulleted list of loads of resources you can use. We want you to go away and do some additional learning if you want to. There's a video, I think, that you'll have to watch with me talking you through how to complete a coding test and that sort of thing too, that you can watch, which will give you that sort of insight as well. So do attempt, read through the question, top to bottom, try and break it down, and work through your solution, even if you don't know the answer at the beginning. I definitely never know the answer to what I'm going to do when I start it. So yeah, read through the question, start trying to work it through, and you never know, you might get there if you're not sure how you're going to get there in the end. And feel free to just, take a little pause. You can take a pause, have a little bit of a time out, do some research if you want to, and then come back. And please, please, please use the resources, because we put them there so that you can get everything you need to have the knowledge you need for the actual technical assessment that we add there. I will say that if you're applying for AWS Restart, then the learner assessment that you do there is slightly different. It's not a coding test. It's an assessment on the way that you would handle their learning platform, essentially. So still go through it, and that's definitely not a test. You don't really fail that. So definitely have a go at all of them that you ever get sent, and then we can figure out where you sit. Sometimes, you could do an assessment and it might feel really scary, but really we're using that to know which group you might be in if you're accepted onto the course. So it's not so much that we're going to reject you if you don't do so well. We could look at the way you've worked through it, because we get to watch the videos afterwards. So when you do your test, we watch the videos afterwards, and you could have actually done really good working but just not got the right answer at the end, and that's absolutely fine. So do have a go, and then we can have a look to see what we've got there. The next step is your screening video. And I love the screening videos. It's a great chance to meet you. We actually used to do all of this through interviews, but now that we have so many courses, we can't interview everybody one-to-one anymore, because we just don't have the physical time. So now what we'd like is for you to submit a screening video. And the way we do that is we have a few questions that we outline. So normally, tell us a bit about your background, tell us about yourself, tell us also about why you would like to do this course, the technical background you've got, any learning that you've done in the past. And we ask for it to last around 15 minutes. Do read the email that you get, because that outlines the questions that you need to answer in that as well. And you get to, again, watch me ask you a question. So there's a little video of me saying, please record as a video. So you'll get to have a little chat with me as well, which is lovely. Don't worry about your surroundings or anything. We don't care. We really don't care what your room looks like. We don't care what you have on your head or like what your face looks like when you're doing the interview. We just don't care. What we care about is what you're saying about, your motivations for the course. So absolutely fine if you dress anyhow. Yeah, we're not looking at that. So just feel free to just literally record a video with your phone. You don't have to have a great setup or anything like that, just so that we can find out a bit more about you and get to meet you and get to know you a little bit too. We just really want to hear those answers that you've got. So please put the time aside, I would say, and then do the recording for us. I've just said there, record more than 2 minutes. Sometimes we have around 7 questions that we're asking about you, and you definitely can't answer the 7 questions in 2 minutes. So try to put a bit more time in. Think about what you're going to say first. You might want to script it. You might want to write down a script of what you're going to say. And then we're more than happy for you to then answer that. Even if you're just reading from a piece of paper, that's fine as well. But at least you're able to get those answers across for us. Then we've got a bit about preparing to start the course. So if you do get accepted, we want you to do a little bit of work before you actually get onto the course. This just makes it easier for you when you start the course. We'll send all these resources out anyway if you are accepted onto any of them. but it's just really so that you've got some guidance. You're probably getting used to learning again if you haven't done it for a while, before you then land on the course as well. And it will just give you a bit of insight into what you might need to do. So you'll do some relevant training. There are videos available online courses, and figure out how you're going to carve out that time as well. You have to be really strict with your time once you start, because it is extremely intense and you need to be ready for that. So figure out how you're going to carve out some of the time ahead of it all getting started. And some of our successes. So we've had people who are currently learning. So as I said, we're training about 100 people at the moment across Black Coder, Entry to Tech, and AWS Restart, and Return to Tech. Oh yeah, we're doing a lot of courses at the moment. And some of the great things that we see coming through, people have made fantastic new friendships, people that they're learning with. They're like meeting up on the weekend because they just love learning now, and it's great. We have, I think it's about 10 or more people who have gained their AWS certifications, and they've not even finished the course yet, but they've gained their AWS Cloud Practitioner certifications. That's been really, really fantastic to see as well. An increase in confidence. People are getting into the industry, they're making an actual start, and they're also getting promoted into some of those higher positions as well. And what are some of our graduates saying? So you don't have to read all of this, but these are people that went through our Black Coder cohort, our actual first Black Coder cohort. And one of them works at UBS now, another one works at EditShare, another one of our partners, and they're both working as senior engineers. And it's absolutely fantastic to see what's happened in the last 3 years after going through one of our boot camps, and now they're excelling in their tech careers as well. I'm actually going to hand over to our fantastic Mariam, our student experience officer, who is going to give you a bit more about those success stories from her experience on Return to Tech. Over to you, Mariam.
Thank you, Jackie. So I'm just going to swap the screen and jump into just these are quotes from students on our programs. And we really celebrate it when students kind of get roles, and it's been fantastic. Just 3 students, Annabelle, Ihan and Aisha, this month have all been sent offer letters from Goldman Sachs to say after their great performance on the Black Coder program. We've also got students that are in the middle of their kind of boot camp, and we check in with them to just see how they're feeling. And this was a comment early on: I'm really happy it's from the basics, so I don't feel stupid. Everyone is enthusiastic. I couldn't be in a better group. And I've kind of like picked this comment out because you don't always have the confidence to put yourself forward for these programs, and you don't need to know it all. But if you meet the criteria and you get in, you can get onto a course that can really give you a lot of progression. And the thing that's unusual about the course is the way it's run. A lot of other courses are, you kind of work through some kind of platform, but what's unusual about our programs is they're instructor led, and also you get a chance to work through problems with TAs. And this comment: the course is phenomenal. The instructor and TAs help us so much. People really care about seeing change in the sector, and the kind of support and engagement from the instructors is absolutely fantastic. Another comment: I've been on another course that cost me £7,000. Since I joined Return to Tech, I've learnt so much more. The teaching is excellent, and it has built my confidence in coding. And the thing is, these courses do really cost money, but they don't cost money to you. But it's important for us, our progression, and the way that Coding Black Females works in terms of trying to make the change in the sector, that if you're coming on a course, to really commit to it, because it is real money that's being spent on you to make a change. And it can be, as I said, it can be to kind of really build fantastic new careers. But there are some challenges. This one, on this course, JavaScript was key to learning the rest of the course. And we really do help you kind of get through those challenges. But also, when you're given tools early on, make the most of those tools, get in there, get into our process of learning, and kind of using this, doing as much as you can up front. But it's more than that. When you have confidence and you do know the skills, part of what this course can do is also support your leadership and your approach to leadership. By helping others on the course, you can also really help progress. The course and direction it's taking is really good. It's intense, but it's really good. You know, it is a real commitment. 25 hours a week is what we suggest everybody kind of really considers how they're going to map that time out, and you really need to start thinking about how you do that. And it's key that when you're starting out, that you put that time, because everything that you learn early on builds on what else, what else is you're going to learn. And some of the content gets harder as you go along, but if you've really got that base in place, then you kind of really can look at how you can take on the harder things that make you much stronger in the career, for your career and in the market of finding a job. But it happens. People, like I said at the beginning, people get through, and it is so brilliant, kind of like to see the community growing, and to kind of see, we want to see you kind of with that piece of paper as well. So that's just, and also we've seen the comments and questions you've got, and we'll kind of come back to some of those. But you can do it. If you get on these courses, we're getting people through, we're making a change to the industry.
Amazing. Thank you, Mariam. Thank you. I love that we've ended on that photo, because that graduation was our first in-person graduation as well. And it was absolutely amazing to bring everyone together who had been involved in the course, some of them who now work at UBS as well, who went through one of our recent programs and successfully completed, and now they all have jobs, which is fantastic. So yeah, it's been amazing, absolutely amazing, and such a fun journey to be on. And we're excited to have more opportunities open too. It's probably worth us actually running through.
Yeah, there's questions in the chat.
I was wondering,
should I stop sharing? Would you like me to stop sharing? Or
yeah, if you could, that'd be great, Mariam. First, I'm going to put you on the spot now, Efwa, but I like putting people on the spot. What I haven't actually covered is what we cover on Return to Tech or Entry to Tech. So I don't know if you can give a very quick overview of Entry to Tech and Return to Tech, and what people can expect to learn on those.
Yes, okay, I can do. So with Return to Tech, there are three major kind of units we try and cover. The first is the solutions, is the cloud, should I say, and DevOps, which you will be able to go through and get 2 certifications: AWS Cloud Practitioner certification, AWS Solution Architecture. You also go on to learn a lot about well, actually, I'll get on to that. So the next one after that is Modern Development Practices, wherein you'll be learning React, Node.js, and for this Return to Tech course, I believe it's Elasticsearch. And then you'll have the Technical Architecture and Leadership module, which is, again, there's a little bit of overlap there with the cloud and DevOps, but it's really about architecture and learning how to create, being a solutions architecture as well, a solution architect, as well as the leadership aspects of the technical leadership aspects. So that's Return to Tech. And then we have Entry to Tech. So Entry to Tech, where you'll be learning Java. Is this the one you're talking? This is the one. Yeah. We run a number of boot camps, so I'm kind of looking at Charlene's face to make sure I've got the right stack. But Entry to Tech is the Java. So you'll be learning how to program Java. You'll be learning about everything from variables, strings, algorithms, all the way up to learning a little bit more about the networking aspects of it. And this one, what's very interesting about this Entry to Tech, it's the UBS one, is that there is a trading theme as well. by trading, I say trading, it's investment banking fee. So you'll be learning also about investment banking, and one of the interesting projects that you will be doing is building, I believe, a little trading kind of platform, which will run in real life, and you will also be able to tell you how you'll be able to run it, and it will give you immediate feedback as to whether you're going to make money or not. So I personally think that's very, very fascinating. I think that's the two. If I've missed one, please, Charlene, fill that in for me.
That's perfect. That's fantastic. Thank you. I did put you on the spot.
No prep.
Can you just tell us everything? Yeah, sorry, I do that a lot. Yeah, that's exactly it. And we're really excited to have them there. So F was kind of in charge of the curriculums on a bunch of courses. So yeah, she's looking after making sure that everybody gets to learn the right information at the right stage throughout everything that we cover as well. So to go through some of these questions, and there are quite a few questions actually. So we've got one of our
Shall I ask us, because I've kind of been mapping them out, because the last one was a cyber, and then so the next one is do we have any programs for kind of that don't involve coding? So kind of maybe, I think probably mean project management or something like that.
So we don't have any in-person programs like that yet, no. But what we do have is you're able to, on our if you go to the codingblackfemales.com/member zone, you can go there and you'll be able to find our Google career certificates, and through that you can do a project management course on there. So there are some courses available for non-techies. There's project management, there's also UX and digital marketing on the Google career certificates platform, so you can head there if you want to find out more.
Yeah, and I'd add also to kind of really make the most of events, because there's some fantastic content in there in relation to supporting any other kind of non-coding careers. And the next question is, we kind of answered this, I think, but just good to go through it. What about if you have no coding experience, can you apply?
So if you have no coding experience, you'd want to apply for entry to tech. But what I would recommend is that if you've not done anything at all in the past, do a course on Code Academy or something. See if you like it. See if it's something that you want to do. Maybe watch a few YouTube channels as well, YouTube videos, to see if there's anything that makes you interested in technology. So that's what I'd recommend, is if you're interested in doing something with no experience, do a short course first online. It doesn't have to be that you've gone to a course in person or anything like that, just to see if that, if you actually enjoy it. Because when you're on one of the boot camps, it's intense, and we want to make sure that you're going to get the most out of it. So what you don't want to do is be learning how to even, I don't know, open up a place to type coding at the same time as us teaching you loads and loads of new concepts. So you'd want to, just give yourself a bit of time, have a look at a course online. It doesn't have to be a long one, and then complete your application for the course.
And Shelley's asking, do any companies actively recruit Black women?
Yes. So all of our partners who are working with us, we're running boot camps, so they're hiring entire cohorts from our community, because not just because one of the reasons that they want to do that is because they really want the skills that they have from our network. So we've been working with a lot of these companies for a while, and they've been hiring from us for a while, and they've seen the great people that come out of our community. They then started seeing all the great people that come out of our boot camps, and they want to, I was going to say sample, but hire people from our network as well. So they are actively recruiting. They're recruiting from Coding Black Females. We work with Black women. So yes, essentially, they want to make sure that their companies are well balanced and that they've got good skills in their organizations. So they are trying to make a difference.
Yeah. And coming from this is a question from Nadia, coming from a customer service industry and interested in training in the tech sector. In terms of hiring managers, are they looking for someone who has been in other industries or tech related only? So how I suppose the question is really, how useful is experience from other industries?
So experience from other industries, companies actually love that. They get very excited when we mention the idea of a career changer because of everything that you bring from the other industry. So that's really, really valuable. I would say that that's something that you'd want to do entry to tech to get involved in that, because that's the most lined up with entry-level people. So companies, I will say, they get really excited about people that have had previous careers in other industries, definitely.
Yeah. And Shola's, as you've touched on this, but Shola's also asking, how do you prepare for a tech assessment? So maybe there's other tips.
Right. So we've got a few things that you could do. One of them is, so when you get sent the form when you get sent the technical assessment, there'll also be a video in there where you can watch me going through a technical assessment. So one of the first things you do is read the question. You then break the question down, and then you start tackling very small chunks of the question. And over time, what you'll see is you build out that full solution to what you're trying to come up with as a conclusion. In order to prepare for one, if you've not done any coding before, go and do a short course online, just so that you can understand the different concepts that you'll need within that language, the different syntax within the language as well. What you can also do is practice the tests online as well. So we would recommend, you could go to Code Wars, you could go to Codabyte, HackerRank, those sorts of platforms where you can practice before you take one of our assessments. And we do allow you to redo as well. So if you do a test and you feel like you didn't quite get it, you can come back and do it again. So they're the things I would recommend. It's really doing some practice, doing some learning beforehand, and utilizing the resources that we provide.
Yeah, and if maybe you don't get through to some of those earlier courses, there's also other short courses that's also worth checking. Coding Black Females, like the Intro to Web Design, for example.
Yeah, definitely.
And I was asking, I was seeking a leadership mentor or course guidance on career progression. Might you be able to point me in to any course or courses or partners, etc., that might provide this kind of offering?
So in terms of leadership courses or leadership programs, we will be running later in the year a technical leadership accelerator program. So that's a chance for you to gain skills in the technical architecture, technical leadership space, alongside a mentor who will guide you as well. So we're just finalizing what the details of that course will look like. And then the applications will open, I believe, around June, which is going to come around a lot quicker than we would expect. So if you register interest for the time being for a leadership course, what we'll do is, if we do open a leadership mentor program ahead of time, we'll let you know. And if we do, when that course opens for applications, we'll make sure you've got that as well.
And would a previous experience in a boot camp also qualify?
Previous experience
as return to tech, for return to tech.
Previous experience in a boot camp isn't enough to qualify for return to tech, because we're looking for industry experience, so tech industry experience. So that's as a software engineer, as a potentially a test analyst or so on. It could also be that you're in a support role as well. So when we say that we're looking for previous experience, we're looking for that from from the industry. We know that you've worked in it before. I would say if you're coming from a boot camp, what you may want to do is still apply for entry to tech. Could be a good one to do, because I know that there's obviously roles available at the end as well, and it's probably more likely to line up with that role at the end. Or you could actually just start looking for roles and opportunities, because if you've gone through a boot camp, you're probably ready to get a job. And I would say just apply and keep on applying until something comes through. And if you need support, feel free to reach out, and we'll do what we can to support you with applications as well.
Yeah. Great. And somebody's asked what if you're self-taught, what software would you use to verify? I suppose if you're self-taught, how you're getting tested and what kind of verifications happening.
So if you're self-taught, if you've been learning on Free Code Camp, you can actually share your membership, your member link, and we can look at how far you've gone through your learning on that. If I'm honest, we won't verify that. If you say that you have been learning JavaScript and you know JavaScript inside out, we're not going to verify that you're telling us the truth. We're going to give you a technical assessment, and then we'll see if that balances out. But if you've done something like Free Code Camp, which is a great platform for learning, we can actually see what your progress has been on the platform as well. So we'd recommend that. We'd also say that if you've got any learning providers or anything like that that you've gone through, that you share that information with us, because then we'll get an understanding as to what you would have covered on your previous courses too. If you've got a link to a certificate that you may have, share that with us. So you might have a link to a Credly link or one of the accreditation platforms with a certificate on it that you could share with us, that we could then use to know, okay, this person has completed something, they've gone through something as a self-taught person, and now we feel as though they're in a position to come onto the bootcamp. So yeah, absolutely fine. If you let us know what you've done as a self-taught individual, then we can use that information during the application process.
Great. And what qualifications are gained, and does everyone who passes get a job?
Okay, so the qualifications that are gained on the Return to Tech Bootcamp, you will gain the AWS Cloud Practitioner certification. You'll also gain the AWS Solution Architect certification, and you'll gain an Elasticsearch certification as well. If you go through Entry to Tech, I don't believe that's certified, other than the fact that we'll confirm that you have completed the course, because we'll have assessments throughout the program as well to make sure that you're keeping up with the understanding and the knowledge. We'll check in on that throughout the course, and we'll mark your assessments as well, and then confirm whether you have or haven't passed successfully the course. So there's definite guidelines as to how you're going to be classed as somebody who has passed or not passed on the course, for you to know that by the end.
And is Entry to Tech with UBS paid? So is there like the equivalent of the £30,000 equivalent salary?
On Entry to Tech, that's not paid. Payment for people that are paid salaries whilst they're training with us, that comes from the partner, and not all partners pay salaries whilst you're training, and not all are able to provide bursaries. So Entry to Tech isn't paid, unfortunately, but you will get the chance to learn, obviously, without having to pay for the course. So you won't have to pay for any of our courses, but you won't receive a bursary whilst you're learning either. And
do students have to, with the Return to Tech, do they have to be accepted by the client to have a job?
Yes.
So they have to get the client's acceptance as well to get that.
Yes, exactly. So it depends on how it's set up. So you'll either receive a conditional offer at the beginning of the bootcamp to say that you have a spot as long as you successfully complete the bootcamp, or you'll be invited to interview throughout the program towards the end. So it depends, but you'll gain that opportunity with the company either at the beginning or at the end.
And do you have extra support for those with learning disabilities such as dyslexia? Would you like me to answer that one? Or?
Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
Okay. Yeah, with our courses, we also kind of check kind of any kind of issues around learning that people have, and we've had students with dyslexia, ADHD, or other aspects that may be challenging in relation to kind of where their learning needs are needing support. And also with the way that any kind of assessments are done, either through AWS or through assessments that are assigned through the boot camps by Coding Black Females, those we can also ensure there's extra time to complete the content if needed. So yeah, we do kind of consider that too. And then there's a question about what is Elasticsearch? Is that one for Efwa?
That is one for everyone.
Yay, okay, so Elasticsearch, right? So it's a kind of, so we say it's a backend system, it's a backend storage system, right, for data. So the search aspects of it is that it's built to make it easier to query data in the backend through APIs, application program interfaces. You'll be learning all of this on the course as you apply. So all these terms, write them down, Google them, but you'll be experts if you sign up for the course. So the whole point is most of the systems and the tools that you use nowadays online will have some sort of data storage backend, and Elastic and MongoDB are some of the larger ones. And so Elastic is the backend system that you're going to be learning your data storage and searching. I hope that explains it. I've used lots of technical terms, but
and it's also you also put a link in that answers it as well.
I
so
did. What's nice about that is even before you get on the course, it gives you a little bit of the free training. Even if you don't understand it, you can go through it, and then it means that you're even that further along when it comes to being on the course, in your understanding.
And then final question: can I apply to the entry level if I have a computer science degree but have not used it to work for over 10 years because of parenting?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely can. So I would say that, just to make it very clear, if you've got a computer science degree that you got 10 years ago, and if you then started working in tech for a couple of years, you would then be eligible for return to tech. If you have a computer science degree from 10 years ago and you didn't start working in tech, then you're eligible for entry to tech. So yeah, basically, you've definitely got options there. So if you did start working in the industry, then you can actually apply for return to tech if that's something that you want to look into. I hope that helps.
Yeah. Well, that's all the questions so far. I don't think there's any others.
Fantastic. Well, does anybody have any more questions? Or we can deem this a chance that you want to find out about our courses. Lovely. Well, if anybody does have any further questions, feel free to drop us a message on the website. So like I said, there's a chat bot there. You can send us a message on the website. You can also send us an email. You can reach out to us on social media as well, and we'll get back to you so that you'll know more about the courses and more about how to get involved should you need to. But go out there, go and start applying. If you need the link, I'm just going to put it in the chat. Yes, you can apply for as many courses as you like, and then we'll signpost you to the right one if we think you're more suitable for one than the other. So feel free to apply for more than one, and we'll see where makes most sense for you to get involved. That's absolutely fine. Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, can't wait to apply. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you, very informative.
Yay.
Henrietta said thank you. Yeah, thanks. Amazing.
All right.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing you all, meeting you all on the course.
I know.
And Andrienne said thank you very much. Helpful. Smile, relaxed face. It's lovely, isn't it?
Lovely. Okay, well,
I'm going to quickly go now and put my son to bed. So
bye.
I'll say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Great. Well, have a lovely evening, everybody, and we will see you all